Hello, folks. Welcome to the Fade Us Sports Podcast. Why call it Fade Us Sports Podcast? Well, Mikey has lost over $4 million betting on sports. He had a horrible NFL season last year. He picked 38% of the winners. That's 10 picks a week. You would have made a fortune if you would have bet against us or if you would have fade us. Okay, top of the show, we're going to start with Woodley. I suspect he's going to give us a rant about the Kelceys and Taylor Swift. Woodley?
No. We did that last week. We're going to go a little more personal here. And this is just, this is about like owners in all sports who are terrible. And I don't understand why they own teams whatsoever. You guys know how I feel on the Minnesota Twins situation.
This is an NFL show, buddy. It's an NFL show.
Yeah, but, you know, we can talk about the Haslams and fucking Tepper and everybody else here, but
Woodley,
it ruins
are you going
sports.
with the Twins? It's an NFL show.
Can you let me fucking talk about, like, fucking bad sports owners? Like, Jesus fucking Christ, I have to deal with fucking Mike, and then now it's like Phil. No, I mean, what the Twins owners have done this year is, like, fucking damning for sports, and actually, like, probably why professional MLB is like toast. We won't be talking about MLB in 2 years when it's on strike anyway, so we're going to get in now. These fucking guys said they were going to sell the team heading into this year, right? So there was actually a little bit of hope there. They did something unprecedented this year. The team was like 5 games out of the playoffs. They traded 40% of the major league roster,
he is
including
he is on the Major League Baseball.
Let him finish.
Can
Mike.
you let me talk? Mike, of all the bullshit you put us through like every fucking week, can I make a point? So these assholes said they were going to sell the team. They go to the deadline. They trade 40% of the team. They completely gut it with every fucking future piece that was available there. And then when they do that, it's like, okay, the next 3 years are shot, but at least they're going to sell the team. What happens a week after the deadline? They say, nah, we're just going to sell 15% of the team to pay off our debts. We're still around. This rant goes for every like owner in sports that's a piece of shit that doesn't clearly want to own a team. Like, if you were a billionaire, I mean, fucking Phil has half of them on speed dial. There's a million ways to make a buck. Like, why do you insist on being just a hated member of society by owning a team and making everyone hate you? Okay, like the Twins, they need to sell. The Browns, they need to sell. The Athletics, they need to sell. Like, I just don't understand, like, what is with these fucking owners and all this. And let me tell you another thing. This goes direct to Jim Irsay, okay? I called your office after this, all right? You didn't answer. I left you a voicemail. You had your head of security call me back and threaten me with harassment because I said a couple swear words. Words. This is to you, Jim.
Your
this is to you.
With Minnesota sports has gone too far, Woodley.
This is to you, Jim Irsay, in a public forum. Sell the fucking team. Nobody likes you, and everyone will just continue to hate you as long as you hold on to it. And Cantu's over there with the Pirates hat on. The Pirates are somehow even worse than this.
Okay, Woodley. Okay, a very personal rant about some owners who had security call you. I'm a little bit concerned for you. Mike, what's your rant?
My rant is us picking the AFC totals this week. I have so many of them. I don't know where to start. I don't even know where to. I'm so sure about the two that I am going to pick that I will guarantee it. How's that?
Oh my God. Let me just tell you, this is a guy that lost $4 million at sports, but he's not bad at picking NFL totals. Cantu, what's your rant?
I got another owner rant, and this time it's on Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is my rant, and here's why. What Jerry has done, I know what he's doing to everybody, and this is dealing with the Micah Parsons and just kind of what just in his playbook. What he's doing, and this has all the talking heads, like the Stephen A. Smiths, on every network. They're like, oh, they're not going to have Micah Parsons ready. They're like, Jerry's not going to sign him. Well, let me tell you, Jerry opens up and signs every single superstar to the absolute highest dollar possible. He overpays them all. Every single time he overpays them. So it's like, oh, Jerry's not going to pay him. No, Jerry is going to pay him. He waits and he gets all the press from every single network around on every single station. So they all have to talk about it's Cowboys, 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 Cowboys on every single network. And here's Jerry in the final 72 to 96 hours going to launch the biggest contract Like, it's probably going to somehow set a record. Biggest contract ever by a defensive player wouldn't surprise me. So it's pretty much only Dak and Parsons making money in the whole team. It's what he's going to do. He has everybody fooled, but I do think it creates way too much negativity, and I think it's really bad for the team.
Well, Cantu, this is breaking news. John Kuhn, Packers great fullback, John Kuhn is announcing that the Packers, he's probably wrong. But here's the tweet. He's announcing that the Packers are trading for Micah Parsons.
No way. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either.
I don't believe it.
I don't either, but it's John Kuhn.
My
though.
rant.
I mean,
back to my rant.
Is he the same guy? Is he the same guy that said the Seattle and Minnesota are going to be good this year?
You'll have to ask Phil. Phil is the John Kuhn historian of this podcast.
No, keep me out of this. I'm going on to my rant, guys. My rant is about how Vegas is dead. Everybody's saying, "Oh, Vegas is dead. Vegas is dead. Vegas is dead," and it's not dead, Mike. It's not dead. And
they brought it on themselves, and they're dying, and they're dead.
So this is what I love. I love when people go on record. So, Mike, you're saying right now on record, Vegas is dead?
Yes.
Okay. This is what I love. Like 1 year from now when Vegas is just killing, it's called a recession, Mike. And by the way, I remember the last two recessions very clearly. I remember walking around in 2000, all right, and every casino, Mike, you wouldn't believe it. I was in a casino on the Strip on a Friday night. I didn't see a single person in any of the slot machines on the street. And same thing happened in 2008, 2009. And it was just unbelievable from just packed on Friday nights. And you can't even sit down at a machine to not a single person. We're going through a recession, Mike. Vegas isn't killing itself. Now, I hope they'll take notes.
There's no recession. There's a recession in Vegas.
So you think just because the stock market's going up that everybody's doing well, Mike?
There's no recession.
Okay, there's no recession. Mike, from Mike the Mouth Matusow, the average person's doing really well.
Matusow.
From Matusow, the average person's doing really well right now.
I love this Matusow bit. I love this bit.
Because I'm going to do it every week till he gets it right.
I'm going to go right in the middle. I'm going to say it's a semi-recession.
I mean, it's a matter of is the stock market near the high? Absolutely. Are the rich getting richer? Absolutely. But it does seem like there's a lot of people and then, at the bottom that are suffering. Mike says they're not.
No, I agree with you.
I say they are. How you define a recession?
But
Mike?
I just want to know that I said it 5 years ago when they decided the fucking criminals were gonna charge people to park. They're like, oh, we can make $22 million extra a month charging for parking. Well, the young kids that come up in town to go to all the clubs, they can't afford parking. And you know what? It's just caught up to them. Everything, a burger or 2 slices of pepperoni is $30.
Mike, this was my rant. You didn't have to go the other direction. Mike the Mouth Matusow is a 4-time World Series of Poker winner. Mikey knows sports, studies sports, and watches more games than all of us combined. Brandon Cantu is a 2-time WSOP winner and an avid sports bettor. Cantu sometimes bets his entire net worth on a single game. Cantu always has some well-thought-out takes. David Woodley started Speed Survivor. Check out speedsurvivor.com. Our guy Woodley has great knowledge and sharp takes. Speaking of sharp takes, Woodley, this is an AFC NFL, that's a lot of letters, over-under show. Now, I've been hot. I've won 11 years in a row doing this stuff. I might not give you the best weekly picks, but 11 out of 11 years I've won. Woodley, what's your number one preseason AFC NFL total bet?
Yeah, I hate to do it because I just am so over Travis Kelce and the Chiefs for what they did in the Super Bowl, which is lay an all-time egg. But we're talking about it right before this podcast, and God, they have an easy schedule. Like it's incredible. So I'm gonna pay a lot of juice. Yeah. I'm gonna pay a lot of juice on this one. It's minus 150, but over 10.5. I don't see it. I don't see a world where the Chiefs lose more than 6 games. I mean, it's like they're gonna. You can't find 7 losses on that schedule. I don't care like who you are. I mean, for them to not get to 11 wins. I mean, it's just barring Mahomes, like his arm falling off. It's
So
just
to
not
be
happening.
clear,
I mean,
you're saying over 10.5 wins for the Chiefs minus a
He's
dollar
buying
player.
it down.
You're
He's
saying
buying it
over.
down and playing the juice is what he said.
Okay.
yeah, paying the juice. You can get it like with plus odds at 11.5, and but like the 10.5 is just like
No, it's your pick.
there's no
Go.
way.
Yeah,
There's no way it doesn't hit. I mean, you look at this schedule. I know like they're gonna be favored every game. They're not gonna win every game, obviously, but like there's only one game where they're gonna be an underdog in, and that's at the Bills. All their other tough games are at home. Like they play the Ravens at home. They play the Lions at home. Arrowhead is a very, very tough place to play. They play on the road against the Broncos. That's on the road against the Broncos is like probably their second hardest game of the year, honestly. They're Kelsey's long in the tooth. He's toast. But again, you still have the best quarterback in the NFL. I don't care what the stats, whatever. I mean, the guy, all he does
all
is
four of
is
us
make
agree
the
he's
Super
the
Bowl.
best quarterback in the NFL.
All he does is make the Super Bowl, and they got all these guys coming back healthy, weapons wise, right? I mean, last year, they made it to the Super Bowl. They had like nobody. I mean, you remember that wide receiver room was completely decimated. Kelsey again was a shell of his former self. I think he's toast. But the wide receiver room's gonna be healthy again.
Whose side are you arguing,
like,
Woodley?
Whose side am I arguing? What do you mean?
Kelsey's toast, but they're going to win over 10.5. You're trying
No, they
to,
are. They are
put
because,
out arguments
no, because,
like.
Well, I'm trying to badmouth Kelsey as much as possible here, right? I mean, we got a big year ahead of us in the Kelsey.
Woodley, we know you hate
bashing thing.
Kelsey's. You
No,
hate
they got the best
Taylor
quarterback,
Swift, and
best
you hate
quarterback,
Philadelphia.
Best quarterback, best coach. There's no way they do not win 11 games this year. There's just
Woodley,
no possible way.
Woodley, I'm on your side. I'm taking the over. They pull games out of their butt. I've never seen anything like it. Games that they can't possibly win. It's like bam, bam, and they win. Games they're not supposed to win. Balls that are thrown up that are fingertipped and caught. Like they just have a way of winning. And I believe Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league for sure. I'm going to be very interested when it gets to Mike Matusow. We're going to go to Cantu next. I'm going to be very interested when Mike tells us why Mahomes isn't the best quarterback in the league, and we'll get that on tape and embarrass him with that at the end of the year. Go ahead, Cantu.
When I make these picks on who I like, on the season wins, the number one thing I look at is coach. Number two, I look at is quarterback, and then I'll figure out everything in between. Number one, Andy Reid is the best quarterback or best coach in the league, and I think Mahomes is the best quarterback, even though it's close. I know everybody sees win, win, win. There's a lot more that goes into that. It's like when Brady was the best. He wasn't just far and away the best. In a lot of years, he wasn't the best. But I kind of agree with all your points.
He's the best of all time. What are you
They are so
talking about?
spooky. It takes more than a quarterback to win. They are so spooky, and they do these. We went over it every week, and Mike just tells me there's some kind of higher thing that goes on with them. For that reason, they're gonna win probably 13, 14 games. Everybody's gonna be like, I can't believe it. This is an off year, this and that. They just win. Winners win.
Cantu, do you remember game 1 last year where it came down to like the cleat? If he had the white cleats.
If the guy had a white cleat on, the Ravens would have won the game.
Go ahead, Mikey.
All right. Well, I've told everybody, that they're writing off the Chiefs, which is ridiculous. Okay. And I was just watching on the ESPN, The Kingdom, but they're also, that thing promotes a lot of the people they want to watch, like the Taylor Swifts and the Kelseys and shit. But there's a lot of things that I took out of it. After they lost the Super Bowl, they talk about this is a learning. We need to learn from this because we hate this feeling, and we know how poor we played in the Super Bowl. And that team, I said it last, they just weren't very good. You guys kept saying, "Oh, they're waiting to turn it on." No, they didn't have the weapons. They didn't have the guns.
They made the Super Bowl, bro.
What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter.
They weren't easy to get there. What are you talking about?
If Houston had special teams,
this is all wrong.
They weren't
my
very
God.
good. Okay, and Philadelphia exposed them.
Very good.
Philadelphia beat them by 100. That's how much better they were.
That
and so,
happens.
with that said, okay, I think the Chiefs are going to be very competitive. I think the fact that they're writing them off is really stupid. The division is much tougher. Denver is going to be very good. I mean, their over-under is 9.5.
Yeah.
The Chargers over-under is 9.5.
Yep.
So, and the Raiders, who Geno Smith is a big upgrade, and the coach is a big upgrade, and the defense. I just think the Raiders will be better.
We'll get
too.
into the
6.5
Raiders
is Raiders, Mike.
But with that said,
You shit on Geno
the line,
Smith every week last year. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Now
they
you're
were
a Geno
gifted
guy.
6 games. Okay, so
We'll talk about the Raiders later, I promise.
I think that if you're going to buy it down to 10.5, you have to pay a lot of juice. I would go over 10.5. I don't like it over 11.5. So.
Consensus pick? I don't think we had any consensus picks in the NFC last week on our show. Maybe one.
Danny.
We all agree, and their defense was impressive.
We need to hear who this
very
quarterback
good pick, Woodley.
is.
We all agree with you. Right out the box, we have a consensus pick. I will be betting money on this one. Okay.
We need to hear who the better quarterback is, though. Like,
Well, I'm going to tell you who the better quarterback is when I
Please.
give you my number 1 pick. Would you like to know it right
Mike,
now?
Give us your yeah, do it.
Okay. Well, I'm taking the team that has the 5th easiest schedule in the NFL and has the best quarterback in the NFL by miles, okay, and has spent massive money on the defense in the offseason and free agency, and they drafted in their top 3 draft picks on defense. And that is the team playing in the much weaker division that has the Miami, the Jets, and the Patriots in it, and that is over 11.5 wins. Lay $1.30 on the Buffalo Bills.
Are you
you
kidding
go.
me? Over 11.5 on the Bills?
With the 5th easiest schedule, by the way, the Bills won 13 last year, and they didn't have the 5th easiest schedule.
Woodley.
this again, these easy schedules based on teams that have
I'm betting
all
on
like
the best
switched
quarterback in
over.
the NFL, buddy.
All these teams like they turn over like 30% of the roster like year over year. There's like 3 teams that like are stated. I don't know. The Mike
thinks
discovered
everyone
one
has the
web
easiest
page that
schedule.
tells them like the easiest schedule. Mike also thinks you need to win 55% of your bets to break even when it's really 52.4. So we're gonna have to
did
go
say
back
that
and check
today.
Mike. We're gonna have to check Mike on a few things. 11.5 is a lot. I worry about the offense. I mean, yeah, Josh Allen is great. That division isn't amazing, but it's getting better. I mean, yeah, they won 13 last year, but that division was awful last year. I think you're going to see all 3 of those teams be significantly better. I mean, like New England.
The Patriots are
I'm not totally sold on the New England hype train right now, but they're going to be quite a bit better. The Jets literally cannot be worse than they were last year. And they got a good
I'll
new
take less
coach.
wins that they had last year if you want to bet, by the way. They
Mike,
suck.
let's stick to your
Justin
pick.
fucking Fields,
and then
buddy.
and Miami comes. Miami is all about like health and all that as well. I mean, I'm not saying like Buffalo is a terrible team, but 12 wins is a lot of wins. So I'm gonna go under. I think they win 10 to 11 games. I think they win that division. I'm not saying they're not, but they're not going to win 12.
I will say this. I'll comment now. I think they're going to win 11 or 12 games. So I don't think Mike's going to be that far off, but it's just really hard to it's very rare you can pick someone to go over 11.5. And I don't know if I've ever done that. Mike calls me a front runner and you always bet the favorites, but over 11.5.
Well, I don't want to just buy it down like this chicken shit guy had to do to fucking take the Chiefs when the number's 11.5.
Hey, I bought down the
wasn't that-
Eagles last week too, but now we're talking about somebody else. We're talking about the Buffalo Bills, Mikey. And so, I'm just very split on this. I don't know. I mean, I do think that if he can get injured. All right. Your all-star great quarterback, Josh
He's never
Allen.
been injured. He's too big. He's like 260.
Oh, he was never injured. He didn't miss any games the last 2 years. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
He missed 0 games the last 2 years?
He has not missed a game. No.
I don't think that's right, Mike. And he's and whether he didn't miss a game or not, he had a torn up ankle a couple of times because he's just not afraid to rush. He doesn't I think you should be a little bit smarter when it comes to ducking out of bounds. I think he should probably slide a little bit more, but he's so good that he becomes a big target. So I don't know. I guess I'll have to go on the under, but I think it's real close. Cantu?
I think it's right on the number. I think this is kind of one of those teams. I think we all think that the Bills are going to be good. Do they win 11 games? Do they win 12 games? Do they win 13? Do they win 10? It's going to be right there. I don't have much of an opinion on that. I do believe Josh Allen. I think it's going to be 11 or 12.
Yeah, me too.
I think Josh Allen's going to come through. I think that the Bills are going to be really good. Possibly, it's going to come down to the Chiefs, Bills, Ravens. Those three add one more team.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm laying the juice. I'm probably staying away from the bet.
Okay, guys, listen, we're going to have to disappear for a second here. We've given our first two picks. One was a consensus pick, Kansas City Chiefs over 10.5. We'll see you at the end of this commercial break. Folks, the Fade Us Sports Podcast is brought to you by our sponsor, Splash Sports, where you can join all of us in the Big Splash. The Big Splash 2.5 million guaranteed NFL Survivor Contest, $150 center. Of course, you can enter 150 times. Download their app, currently sitting at number 7 in the sports I just saw today. Sports App Store and climbing. You'll find all sorts of contests starting at $5. I'm hosting a contest with Nick Wright. $5,000 entry, $1 million guarantee. We're calling it the World Championship of Survivor Contest. There's also a $1,000 entry contest with a $1 million guarantee. Thanks again to Splash for sponsoring the Fade Us Sports Podcast. Welcome back from the break. Welcome to the Fade Us Sports Podcast, where Woodley gave us Kansas City over 10.5. And Mike the Mouth Matusow gave us a team,
Matusow.
the Buffalo Bills, that is over
Matusow.
11.5. Mike Matusow.
Matusow.
Yeah.
So.
Over 11.5, he said. Well, we didn't all agree with that. Cantu, for your number one AFC NFL total bet, who do you got?
This brings me so much joy. We get to talk about the Raiders. And do you know who the Raiders got, guys? They pretty much took my Seahawks offense. They took the mastermind Pete Carroll, who prints on these season win totals. He just prints. He prints. How many times have we went over this, Phil, in the Pete Carroll era, where we were like over the last 10 years, where we have this phone call and we put all of our heads together, and every year it's just Pete Carroll, just go with him, and it's really that basic. He even has Geno Smith, who I think really lost a step, but with Pete Carroll, Geno Smith was doing good. He just kind of lost his vision with the new coach last year.
Now, Cantu, let me check.
I'm hoping that's behind.
Cantu, let me check your numbers here, because what I see is Raiders over 6.5 minus $1.50.
I see minus 145.
Okay, good.
So,
okay, continue.
I'm paying the heavy juice. I really like the Raiders this year. I think Geno is somehow Pete's guy, and he gets the best out of Geno. Yep. I'm not worried about his age. I'm just worried about them being together. And I also love the defensive side of the ball.
Yep.
Max Crosby. This goes without saying. I'm getting myself a Max Crosby jersey, by the way. He's one of the 3 or 4 best players or best defenders in football.
For sure.
He's an absolute difference maker, gets all the turnovers, ball hawk of the highest proportions. I love me some Raiders this year. I think they're going to be competitive. They're
minus
going to be
140 on over 6.5 is the line.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Okay.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Anyways,
Thank you, Matusow.
Yeah, and so here I am. I'm so excited that Pete gets he loves those great defenses. You want to talk about your rah-rah guy. This is coming in with the Raiders, Crosby. It fits in with their defense. It just feels like it's all going to work out. And somehow the Raiders are going to win 9 or 10. And they're not that good. They're not even that good.
If they win 9 or 10, Kansas City ain't winning no 11 games if they win 9 or 10.
Cantu, you're preaching to the choir, my man. That is my number one pick, too. Raiders over 6.5 minus $1.50. Pete Carroll, I looked this up. I couldn't believe it. I looked it up. Since 1997, I might be wrong, but I think Pete Carroll, at least in the last 20 years, I don't think he's had a losing record. Not one time. Now, you look it up. There's also another guy, the Pittsburgh Steelers coach, Tomlin, has never had a losing record. So I couldn't believe it. I was stunned when I saw that. And when I saw him on the board, I'm like, oh my God. Here's a guy that's never had a losing record. He's bringing back a quarterback that's familiar with his system. It's Pete Carroll all the way. Boys, I'm going to bet $15,000 on this. Let me tell you something. I bet $20,000. I told you guys on the last show, Detroit over 10 wins. I'm going to have 2 big bets this year. 1 for 20 and 1 for 15. Woodley, what do you say about Cantu and I's great excitement about the Raiders?
I don't see it. I think it's too much. I mean, listen, if it was like a normal, minus 110, minus 120, like sure, it's too much juice for a team that is bad. It is a bad team that has, they have Max Crosby.
They got the best tight end in football.
Defense.
They have the best tight end in football.
I forgot to talk about Bowers. I forgot to talk about.
Okay, great. They have 2 great players and a bunch of garbage, and they have a coach who was put out to pasture by the Seahawks, hung out for a year, and came back. The other coach that was put out to pasture? Bill Belichick. Now that guy's like, at North Carolina, with some like 28-year-old model that's like, taking power of attorney on him,
She's
26, whatever. I mean, that's a mess, right? I mean, so it's like, bringing these coaches
We just all
back.
wish we were him, that's all.
I don't know, man. I
mean,
don't,
come on.
I don't know about that,
she's
man.
Fucking hot, man.
Yeah, but he's
Cantu goes out with hot girls, and that girl's fucking smoking.
Okay. Yeah, it's if you want to date someone 50 years your junior that is like clearly taking over your life or trying to like take over your finances, that sounds it's not the dream.
I don't know how I'll be in 30 years.
Anyways, Bill's at North Carolina
right
where they're going to win like 6 games, and Pete Carroll's at the Raiders where they'll win 6 games. It's just, Geno is okay. I think Geno was buoyed a lot by having like he is, but I mean, who's he going to throw to other than Bowers? Like, great, like okay, yeah, Bowers. They have nothing else. I mean, they have Jacoby Myers, their wide receiver 1. Their defense is pretty garbage outside of Max Crosby. And by the way, it's like it's actually the toughest division in football. It's one of the 2 toughest divisions in football. It's that or the North. Like who they probably, how many games are they going to win in that division? Like maybe 1. Like maybe like are they going to beat the
Raiders?
Chiefs?
Always play those divisional games tough. They're good.
Okay, whatever.
They beat Kansas City like every year, at least once.
It's going to be more than 1. Yeah, they are tough.
Okay, I mean, if you think they're going to beat,
defense,
if you think they're going to beat KC, then I don't know. It's just too much juice, and it's just not a good team.
That's
it
what
just
I don't
really
like,
isn't.
Juice, yeah.
Okay, Mikey, what say you? Woodley is against Cantu in my number 1 pick. I think you like it.
I like it. I'm wearing a Derek Carr jersey, as you guys see, but he's out of the league. But I think the Raiders, and you got to remember, I live here in Vegas, so I'm reading all the write-ups, okay? And one of the major preseason write-ups that's going around is Austin Jante looks like a bust. That's what's been being spread all through the news here. And if he's a bust, and if he isn't the player that they thought they drafted at number 6, then the Raiders aren't going to win 7 games. If they're wrong and he has 1,000 yards rushing, they will win 7 games. I think it just comes down to that. Really.
Mike puts it on
What
one player.
What does Fezzik think about that?
Well,
though?
they have to be able to run the ball to open up the play action for Geno Smith. If
Mike,
they can't run the ball,
one way or another. It's your hometown team. You have their jersey on. Yay or nay?
$1.40. I'm gonna go under. I
Okay,
can't
Mike's
lay
under.
I can't.
Hey, Danny. That's our 4 number 1 picks. Post them. We had 1 unanimous pick there, Woodley's pick. And now we're on to our 2nd picks. And we're going to start off with me, Phil Hellmuth. Denver, over 9.5 wins, minus $1.30. Okay, listen. This coach and this quarterback, I couldn't believe how good he looked last year. It was kind of stunning to me. So much fun to watch. I just believe that after the Russell Wilson thing, they've kind of gathered themselves. I think they have a great coach. Peyton's amazing. And I base my over and under picks on whether a lot of times, as Cantu stole my line from me, on the coach first and the quarterback second. So I'm going Denver over 9.5 wins. And let's see, what say you, Mike the Mouth, on Denver?
So this is a very chalky pick amongst handicappers in the world. The thing about this is the Denver Broncos were 1-8 against teams over 500 last year. And that one win was against Kansas City in the last week of the year when Kansas City just benched everybody. And against winning teams, they struggled. Against losing teams, they crushed. Now, with that being said, like I said, this is a very trendy overpick by a lot of handicappers. And their schedule. Let me just go over their strength of schedule real quick. They've improved. The defense was monstrous, and they've improved their offense. I want to just look at their strength of schedule real quick. And Denver has it's right in the middle. So the Raiders are 16 of 32, and Denver is 17 of 32. So they're right in the middle. Strength of schedule in a tough division. Again, against it's a trendy pick. I kind of liked it over. It's right on the number. I will. If you're going Kansas City to win 11 games, it's gonna. I don't know. It's a tough number. I'm gonna go over.
Okay, Mike's on the over. It's my pick. Woodley, what say you?
Yeah, it is very trendy. I'm just not a big believer in Bo Nix. I actually think I don't see the talent there. I think he obviously had a good year. He surprised a lot of people, and he played well. But teams adjust big time against quarterbacks, right? I think like you see these guys kind of pop up out of nowhere. We talked about it, a few hours ago when we were talking about Stroud and Bryce Young. Stroud just like completely fell off the radar that second year, right? Again, after the first year, everybody's Stroud. Like Houston was this trendy pick, all this stuff.
He did lose both of his wide receivers too to injuries. Stroud.
Who? Stroud?
Last year,
yeah. Stroud did, yeah.
Yeah. I know it's fair.
Yeah.
I'm just not a huge believer in Sean Payton. I think Sean Payton is like one of the biggest underachievers in the NFL, and like people will disagree with that, but the guy did nothing outside of that 1 year. He did nothing outside of that 1 year period, except choke in the playoffs. Yeah, and I'm glad Mike brought it up because they actually played terrible against winning teams. Like, yeah, they look great against a bunch of garbage teams. 9.5's a lot. Again, it's a really good division, and I know. Like, I'm starting to pick all the unders like in the division, which is scary. But let me tell you, like, I'm obviously on the Chiefs over, and I would definitely be on the Chargers over as well. It's just too many wins, and I think Knicks takes a big step back to reality. I'm just not a believer in them.
Yeah.
Cantu.
Woodley, I love your points. Mike, I love your points. A lot. I'm not as big of a Sean Payton guy as everybody else is. He's just, it feels like ever since kind of what he did to Russell Wilson, it feels like this I rule with an iron fist type guy. I feel like his reputation kind of took a little bit of a hit. I feel they just didn't even play that good last year, and they made the playoffs, and they kind of got in a lucky way where the Chiefs just lay down and everybody's like, oh, they won 40-0. Yeah. Well, no, Mahomes. Yeah.
And they got crushed in the playoffs.
They didn't really make their way in. The Chiefs decided to let them get in the playoffs, I guess we could say.
Yeah.
So now here they are, this is the true sexy pick right here. I would maybe even say the sexiest.
It is. I could tell you.
The whole board, I love the under. I don't believe it.
I know a lot of big name people putting big money on.
You love the under.
Yeah, I love the under. Bo Nix is an Oregon guy. I actually think he overachieved as well, but I think he's going to be a nice quarterback. I don't think anything great. I think he'll be a number 16th in the NFL type guy, number 14th, 18th, somewhere right in there. I think he's just an average quarterback. I think they'll do okay. I think they come back a little bit this year. Now that nobody expected them to do anything last year, the Chiefs let them into the playoffs, and now it all comes down to it. People are expecting things. They're not catching anyone off guard this year. I think everybody's ready for them.
You might be right. Yeah, it's close. Like I said.
Okay, guys, we're going to go to Woodley for his second AFC NFL total. The way he's going, he'll probably go under.
Yeah, I kind of like these unders.
I like an under a lot.
I like the under the Texans under 9.5.
What's the juice?
The
Texans
over
under
is
9.5, Woodley.
Yeah, the over is what I'm seeing. The over is even money. So I mean, the juice is what, like minus 115. I mean, it's there minus
Okay,
115.
we'll give you minus $1.15. Go ahead.
Yeah, again, I mean, they're a mess.
Texans
a mess. I
are
mean, I don't think we
9.5
trust
under
Stroud.
minus 135. 9.5
That sounds
under
better.
135.
Yeah, probably get at 125.
I mean-
whatever. Let's not argue about the juice,
All right.
Woodley. Why do you like the
It's
under?
just, I mean, it's Mike. It's just unbelievable. No, I mean, I'll argue about the juice on this one. I'll pull it up right now. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Like, they're not winning 9 games. So pay whatever juice you want. They're not winning. Oh, sorry, they're not winning 10 games. So yeah,
I
they're
agree.
under 9.5. Division worries me a little bit because it's not good. It's kind of like a boondoggle of mediocrity. But no, I don't believe in Stroud at all. I mean, I think this is like kind of a make or break year for him, which is crazy to say, right? Especially after that rookie year, everybody's like ready to crown him.
I was ready to crown him after his rookie year.
10's a hard number to get to. Even with that extra game to 17, it's just tough number. They feel like a 500 team, and they don't feel like a team that can get to that 10th win in my mind.
Cantu, what do you think?
I agree with Woodley. Houston is, I mean, CJ Stroud, what a regression that was. I know he had injured receivers and this and that. I mean, he couldn't find anybody. He couldn't find anybody. They look terrible. I'm just not a big CJ Stroud. Unless you're one of the top mobile quarterback guys, the Lamar. I know this is a high bar. I've got here the Lamar Jackson, and you've got this high win total. I think the Texans take a really strong comeback, and I could see them being one of the most disappointing teams. Now I know they got Nico Collins, and everybody's fantasy hyped about Nico Collins. They want him like number 6, number 7 overall. They think he's gonna be. And Nico Collins is a great player. I just think CJ Stroud is going to end up being a head case and is going to be, this is going to be an unpopular pick, but I think he's going to be a bottom half of the quarterbacks in the league guy. And I think you might find it a 6 or 7 win team. I know that's another, the Texans are a sexy pick as well. I'm not there with them. I don't agree with it.
This is something that like, I thought Houston really sucked last year. I thought they were a bad team heading into the playoffs. They dismantled Kansas City in every way they could, except for special teams. They held them to a season low offensive yardage. They held them. Their defense held the Kansas City to the lowest offensive yardage of the year. They really played well in that playoff game. If it wasn't for the blocked punt, the missed field goal, and the fumble by the whatever, the Houston really would have had a shot to win that playoff game that last year. So that's the positives with Houston. And they were missing their best receivers all year. The negatives I see on Houston is the Jaguars got rid of that dog-awful coach, okay? And the Jaguar, you got to remember, the Prince, what's his name, the Lawrence for the Jags, he was playing with an injury last year. And after he got injured early, he struggled. So the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think their total is 7.5. They're going to be better. Cam Ward is a winner. He is going to improve the Titans a lot. And if you remember last year, the Titans lost games because the quarterback kept throwing picks. So that division I don't think would be a lot better. 9.5 with I just see a 9-win team. I do think they make the playoffs at 9-8, and they could win the division at 9-8.
Hold on, I gotta say one thing real quick. You're saying Cam Ward's a winner over here with the Titans. What do you think they're going to win, Mike? 5 games? What do you call a winner?
Their total's 5.5. So
yeah, they'll win. I think they'll win 6 or 7.
I think they'll win. I like them.
So if he wins 6, do we call him a winner? I don't know that that's called a winner.
It depends. I think he's very good coming out of college. Okay,
that's a pretty
5.5 games. That's a winner. Put him down for 5.5. I mean,
well, he was the number 1 pick, Cantu. He was the number 1 pick. Like, I think if he wins 6 or 7 games,
it's a bad year. He would have been like the number 7 quarterback off last year. I mean,
well, that's your opinion.
The year before.
They don't. I don't know if that's.
I think that division is going to be much improved, and I think Houston. I'm going to lead with the under also. I think they win 9. They could win 10.
He's a winner. He's going to win 5.5 games.
But I think Houston wins 9 games.
I think Cantu hammering Mike is very appropriate right now. But I will say this. I happen to also believe that the Houston's going to be the under. So we have a unanimous pick here. Woodley, we like his pick, all four of us. It's very rare. Danny, mark that as a consensus pick. There should be like stars and stripes in our graphic. Yeah. We all agree.
Fireworks.
We all agree. And by the way, I was so happy, and it was so much fun to watch Stroud that first year. And I said, oh my God, here comes the next Tom Brady. And I watched a lot of Houston games last year, and I lost a lot of money betting on him. And he was nowhere near where he should have been. Okay. Let's see. We have a couple of number two picks.
I got it, boys. Remember, I guaranteed these things before the podcast started. And what do I always say? I want to bet on the team that trended up to end the year.
You've been right about that.
When you look at the team that trended up the most to end the year, they actually won 5 straight games to finish the season. This is a team that gave away 5 games. They had the best quarterback in the NFL last year. They've improved the defense a little bit, and that's the Cincinnati Bengals over 9.5. I just can't see it. They won 9 last year when running the table, winning. They were 4-8 at one point. And you're just asking to win one more game, which they gave away like 4 or 5 of them. They returned everybody on offense. They went out and drafted on defense. I don't know how good they've hit on defense, but the defense has to be better than last year. It's impossible to be worse. And you're asking to win one more game. This was almost my top pick, but the strength of schedules was like 17th instead of 5th, and that's why I went with the Bills.
Okay, hold on one second, Mikey. Hold on one second. Danny, we need to pay the bills. We're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to all address Mike's pick. See you in a minute. Folks, the Fade Us Sports Podcast is brought to you by our sponsor, Splash Sports, where you can join all of us in the Big Splash. The Big Splash, $2.5 million guaranteed NFL Survivor Contest, $150 center. Of course, you can enter 150 times. Download their app, currently sitting at number 7 in the sports I just saw today. Sports App Store and climbing. You'll find all sorts of contests starting at $5. I'm hosting a contest with Nick Wright. $5,000 entry, $1 million guarantee. We're calling it the World Championship of Survivor Contest. There's also a $1,000 entry contest with a $1 million guarantee. Thanks again to Splash for sponsoring the Fade Us Sports Podcast. We're back. The Fade Us Sports Podcast, and Mike the Mouth Matusow was on a nice little...
Matusow.
And Mike the Mouth Matusow was on a nice little rant about how Cincinnati Bengals are going to what, Mike? What's the juice on that? What's the line?
It's 9.5. I think it's minus 115.
Okay, so 9.5 Bengals. Mike likes the over, minus $1.15. I've been a big Bengals fan. I watched a lot of their games.
Minus 110. Go ahead.
I've been a big fan. And you know what? I don't know what I'm going to predict. I'm going to you, Woodley. What do you say? Bengals, 9.5 over, minus $1.15.
No, they suck. Offense line sucks. Defense line sucks. Defense sucks. It's not minus 110, Mike. It's minus 120. We're just gonna play your little game here as well.
Oh, really? I can lay it at I can lay it circa $1.10 on the over 9.5.
You should go to Circa then. They'll welcome you with open arms there. Yeah, I don't see it. I mean, this, it's you can. Mike once again. Oh, they could have won this game. They could have won this game. But again, every single game in the NFL
gave away. Every single game
is a one possession game in the NFL. So every fucking team could win if a few things went different. like you did earlier. Like if there's 7 less turnovers,
did they not have the number 1 offense in the NFL last year?
It doesn't.
Yes.
I don't know if they did. I don't know if they did though, because they were in these like ridiculous shootout games because they had such a terrible.
The Ravens had the number 2 offense.
I
in the
agree
NFL.
with you, Woodley. I mean, they might have been rated number 1 because
I would have taken the
Eagles
Eagles
out of every game.
I would have taken the Eagles offense over the Bengals offense. Let's just put it that way. But they because they could run it down your throat. Okay,
Correct.
like the Bengals had Chase Brown, cool, But again, when you're trailing every single game because your defense is giving up 50 points, it's
lot of
very
teams
easy to put up
control the
500
ball.
yards.
You're basically think the Bengals defense will be as bad as last year. It's impossible. It could never be. That was like
Why?
the worst defense in like the history of the NFL, and they
So why
still
are they
won
gonna
9
get better?
games.
Who have they added?
Well, they can't get worse.
Who have they added? Who have they added? How have they gotten better on defense?
They drafted their top 3 draft picks were defensive players, and we don't know how good they are.
I'll tell you what they've done and what could happen. There's in the NFL, there is a luck factor, and I think we could all agree that the Bengals were on the wrong side of the luck factor.
100%.
The Dallas game was the only game they got lucky when the guy blocked the punt and they touched it.
There is not, and since that happened, Mike, there has not been one day we have not talked about that Bengals blocked punt. Mike loves that play
because it was the worst. Because it was one of my worst beats I've ever took in my life. I was getting 6.5 with a minute to go in the game, and if
we
they
will talk about this,
there's like
play.
no way I could lose unless they block the guy, unless the punt gets blocked and the guy touches it.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Go ahead, Cantu.
So there is a luck factor in the NFL. You can go through the games, as we always talk about this, where the Chiefs on the right side of the luck factor. Yes. Where the Bengals on the wrong side of it, they constantly had something go like just fluky, some crazy penalty. The fluky touch the punt, like guy
4th and
drops the
19
ball.
versus Woodley's
4th and
Chiefs.
19.
That the game was over.
I don't know that we more have to go into like what do they need to change, the new personnel. I think they should have went over last year. They did go way
Burrow's
under.
pick against the Ravens.
I think they're going to go. I don't think they changed that much. I just think they're going to go over and have
I'm with
be a little
Cantu.
luckier.
I agree, Cantu, with all of your points. They were the unluckiest team in the
far.
NFL last year. We
Not even
kept talking about them in our group. So, the whole reason we have this podcast is that we have this text stream, and we were just talking about how good Cincinnati is based on
They
their
were a team
record.
nobody wanted to play in the playoffs.
Nobody wanted to play them.
Nobody. They didn't make it.
Nobody wanted to make the playoffs because they would have to face Cincinnati. I'm just remembering now. I love the over, Mike. I'm with you. 3-1. Woodley is allergic to picking overs.
For as great of a team as they were, they beat nobody last year. They beat one decent team, and that was Denver. They didn't beat anybody else good. Like they gave up 44 points to like Kenny Pickett and the Steelers, who were starting that game. Like this idea that there's some great team or unlucky is just absurd.
Well,
And,
they had the Chiefs. They had the Chiefs beat 4th and 19 on the last play of the game. Okay, the guy interferes. They had the Ravens beat, and he throws the pick with 1:20 to go. Right, that game was fucking. They had them beat, and those are fucking the 2 best teams in the AFC. So they just had a lot of bad luck, and their defense was awful.
Yep.
Okay, I'm ready to give my second pick, Phil.
Go
if
ahead,
you're ready.
let's do it.
Give it to me, and then we're going to post it because I think at that point we will all give it our second picks. Go, Cantu.
A lot of times when we sit there and we make these team totals, because we've had, we've been talking about how many years we've done this, and we usually get on a conference call and argue or agree and agree. So we have a lot of the same teams, and I think we've had so much success with the Steelers. I'm going to go back to the well.
That was
it's
almost
Steelers
my pick.
over 8.5, -125. I love taking Tomlin. Let me go into this about Tomlin. Why he gets so much hate. He's an absolute moron. The guy is a moron of the highest proportions when it comes to, it's 4th and 1.
Strategy.
Punt. Hold on, no. It's the same. It's the same thing every single year. He needs an elf on his shoulder, a little Irishman or something like this. It's 4th and 1.5. We're at the 32-yard line. Do we punt? Do we kick the field goal? Do we go for it? Whatever the worst of the 3 options is, Tomlin goes for the worst of the 3 options every single year. And I hate him to death for it. I can't get over it. I can't stand Tomlin. That is just so easy to fix. He's just a stone moron because of that. Now, let's get past that, Brandon. The reason I like Tomlin, those are the reasons that I hate him to death. The reason I love Tomlin, he really is a really good coach. If it gets outside of that, what do I do on 4th and 1 or 2 or 3? If you get outside of that, which is a big portion of the game, he is a very good players coach. He comes up with, he's at getting the most out of your players, it's not just getting the most out of the player, the X's and O's, the this, the that. Tomlin does everything else great. He just needs an elf on his shoulder.
Cantu,
He
did
can
you
even
know
take credit?
Did you know that Tomlin's never had a losing season in the NFL as a coach?
I do.
Never. Never.
That was,
And not
uh,
only
my
that,
third
he
best
has
pick.
made just, it drives me crazy when he's on his 42-yard line and the analytics say, go, 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 go. It's a flashing green light, go. And he punts the ball.
It's between the yard lines of the 30 and the 45 of the other team when they're about to score that he just does the most moronic things. And it sounds like I was going to go against him. This was all anti-Tomlin. But actually, he's a really good coach.
He is. Listen, his
he gets
analytics
over.
have been horrible. You know who else had
Horrible.
bad analytics for a long time?
Andy
Reid. Andy
He
Reid
fixed it, though.
had the worst analytics of anybody in football for like 15 years, and then he had one coach on his shoulder who told him the right analytics
No,
move.
he found a guy named Patrick Mahomes. That changed it.
Well, that's true too,
that
Mike.
helps, too.
But I don't know if you know this, but I don't know if you
Donovan
paid.
McNabb wasn't very good, and he would make the NFC Championship game every year.
I'll tell you this, Mike. There was a lot of Reid had this guy about 2 years ago for like 4 years who told him what the right analytics play was. He started making it, and he started winning a lot of games. Tomlin, just get an analytics guy on your shoulder to tell you the math says go for it. The math says go for it. The math says go for it. Having said that, Tomlin's never had a losing season. I love your pick, Cantu. I'm even going to bet my own money on this pick.
love it.
I'm a little bit afraid
Well,
that Aaron Rodgers may or may not show up. Mikey,
this was my third best pick, and in the AFC,
the over.
the over, and I'm gonna explain.
Oh,
I'm gonna
me and
explain
Mike
why.
agreeing
And
again.
Woodley's not gonna like it. Okay, but Rodgers.
Woodley can't possibly go against us again, Mike.
Rodgers finished the year 17 touchdowns, 8 picks. He had 6 picks in the first 3 games. Okay, Rodgers finished the year with like I think it's 8 or 9 touchdowns and 1 pick. It wasn't his fault they lost. They led in the fourth quarter of 6 games. They lost 6 games with a fourth quarter lead last year because the defense went to shit when they fired Salah. Okay, Rodgers was not the problem, and once they brought Adams over, that offense was humming. And you got to remember, he was coming off an Achilles. So, of course, Rodgers struggled the first 4, 5, 6 games of the year. But if you look at the last 8 games of the year, Rodgers was a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. I think that you bring a much bigger upgraded quarterback to Pittsburgh. I mean, think about it. Their starting quarterback is on the Giants. The starting quarterback of the Jets was the backup. So they got rid of Rodgers to get the backup who was on the Steelers last year. Okay, who's the better organization, Pittsburgh or the Jets?
Good point, Mike. The Jets they suck.
They
Okay,
suck.
Woodley, 3 resounding overs. What
He
say
hates
you, Woodley?
Rodgers, so he'll go under.
Well, I mean, I sat here the past couple of years and I told you what would happen to the Jets and Rodgers, but you didn't listen to me, and
But it wasn't
Dave
Rodgers'
was
fault.
right, big time. Oh, okay. Like, yeah, it's not
Everything.
a quarterback-driven
It's
league.
the
I guess it's
organization
not a
of the
quarterback-driven
Jets'
league. You're right. The quarterback means nothing. They went 5-12. Like Aaron Rodgers had nothing to do with that, Mike. I mean, in your words, he had an excellent season.
Did they not have, after they fired Salah after week 4, go look at who had the worst defense in the NFL? It was the New York
Who got
Jets.
Salah fired, by the way? Who got him fired, Mike?
We don't know. We don't know.
It was Rodgers.
No. Of course
It was Rodgers. Yeah. So, okay. So you have a Steelers team that's like mirrored in mediocrity. They bring in Aaron Rodgers, who's a fucking nut. Like, he's probably in his like little darkness fucking bullshit retreat. Okay, he's insane, right? He tanked the Jets. Like, he tanked that organization and set them back years. They bring him in. Who's the other weapon they bring? Oh, yeah, DK Metcalf, who's also a psychopath. And the rest of the team is just, it's mediocrity. Like, they'll get off to, it'll be the same thing that happens with the Jets. They'll get off to like a 1-4 start. Rodgers
Let me
will
ask
do
you
his
this.
little
Let me
song
just
and
tell you
dance.
this, Woodley. The psychopaths that go to Pittsburgh are usually kept in check. Not all the time, but usually they're kept in check. That's one of Tomlin's strengths. And so, and by the way,
Antonio
I don't know. I'm
Brown?
trying to remember who the MVP was 3 years ago and who the MVP was 4 years ago. I can't really remember. His initials
Who
are
the
AR,
fuck
though,
cares?
so I don't know.
Who the fuck cares that Aaron Rodgers was good 4 years ago? He's 42 now. Like, he hasn't done shit in 2 years. Like, do you think he's magically, I said this last year, do you think he's magically going to, like, find the fountain in youth and, like, get back
Do you
to
think
that
he needs to
that
find the
point?
fountain of youth to win 9 games?
Absolutely he does. What has
Okay.
he done the
I
past
don't.
2 years?
So
to make-
just like I thought it was. The last 8 games of the year, he had 13 touchdowns, 4 picks, a 93 passer rating in the last 8 games of the year. Just like I said. Thank you. 13-4, with a 93 passer rating.
Okay, they went 5-12, Mike. They went 5-12 with Aaron Rodgers.
Because the defense was the worst defense in the NFL. You keep trying to blame Rodgers.
Guys, they're going to win 10. The Steelers go 10-7 every year. Just put them down for
They really do.
They just, ever since Roethlisberger.
I don't understand how Woodley can pick against this, but maybe he's right.
Oh, wait. But I went the last 8 games. If you go to the last 10 games last year, he had a QB rating of 112.5.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Woodley says he's cooked.
They went 5-12.
So the 112.5 must be wrong.
Well, you know what? We'll bet this. I'll bet you how much you want to bet on this one. I'm happy to put my money where my mouth is on this one.
We'll bet offline.
Guess
you
what?
got 1,000 for me.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna bet you 5,000. Okay, since they have the exact same over/under record, I'm taking them to win more games than the Minnesota Vikings. Same juice, same everything.
Yep.
Accept it.
Jeez, I'm not sure I like that. But hey, Woodley, if you want to listen, text me afterwards, but you got at least $1,000 bet from me. Okay, guys, look, we're going to have to wrap it up. I teased everybody about arguing about the juice. That's just part of the show. We can't control Mike the Mouth Matusow. Woodley fell into his trap. I told Woodley, don't fall into Mikey's trap. Woodley can't help himself.
It's midnight over here. It's incredible. Like,
you can tell with the lighting that, this isn't exactly natural.
I lost 25,000 today playing poker. I'm not happy.
Guys, from the Fade Us
Tell it.
Sports.
How do our listeners subscribe, Phil? We got to tell them to subscribe.
Ooh, yeah, we needed to get people to subscribe to the Fade Us Sports podcast. Also, it's nice to be on television. Thank you, Veasan. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Veasan.